Hey, welcome back. So, before we begin, I just want to give a quick message and disclaimer that some of the content that is going to be coming in the future might take a little longer to turn out just because I'm back in school. However, I still will be posting, it just will not be as frequently as it was before. And now, enjoy the rest of this tutorial. So it looks like we're not getting any issues on this front. However, you can see that it's not a lot of data that we're pulling. This is only, 10 rows of data. And if you were to go back on and if we were to go back on Google, you can see that there's a lot more than 10. There's about 8 to, 17 different pages of data about this. So we're going to have to figure out how to move on to the next tab. So the way that we can do that is by finding this next element on the bottom right here. And you could see that there's an href for it. So if we were to click that href, you could see that it's still searching Trump and everything. And if you were to go to the bottom, you could see that we're now on the second page. So if we were to do that again and hover over that next element and then click the href, you could see we're on the third page. So we're going to want to collect this href right here, and we're going to take that, add it to the root where we had just google.com, and that is going to be the new link that we're going to be searching with, and we're going to just do the same exact process. So if we copy this class right here, we can see if it exists within our HTML. So if we print out our soup again, let's look for that class, and we can't find it. So the alternative might be just searching next and see if we can find the actual text and where it exists. So if you search next, you could see that we're getting an a tag, and it says aria label is equal to next page. It has a class, and then it has a href. So we're going to want to find this now, and we're not going to want to have it be in this for loop because this for loop is only pulling items that has that class. So we're going to want to just do something similar to the top where we're doing just soup.find, and we're going to pass in an a tag, and its attributes are going to be equal to aria dash label, and then put next page. So if we set this equal to next and then we print it out, we can actually do next, put in brackets href, which will print out the key value. You could see that I'm getting this error now. It says permission to deny data.csv. If you're getting this error, it's because you have the document open. So you have to close it just before you're doing anything. And we don't have to save it because we're going to overwrite it anyway. So if we do print next href, you could see at the end now we're getting the href. And we're going to want to take this now and we're going to add it to our link. So if we say next equals next and put in href, we're going to want to do something very similar to this. It's going to be link is equal to root plus next, because it's going to move on to the next page following this reference right here. So we can't really run this as it is because we would have to do all of this process over again. So what we might want to do is call this recursively. So to do that, we're going to want to space this out by indenting it. And we're going to want to say define, and we can just call this news. It's going to take in a parameter of link, and we're going to pass that in again at the end. So we can do just news and then pass in link, and we're going to rerun it recursively, and we're going to want to pass in this link over here, and then we need to run this on the bottom so we can get it the first time around. So we're going to just say news parentheses link. So if we were to run this, you could see it's printing out the soup a bunch of times. I could just stop this right now. So you could see it was printing out the HTML, but it's very sloppy, and I'd rather see the actual data that we want. So we could print out the title, time, description, and the link. And so if we're to do that, we're going to get something a lot prettier. You can see the different articles now, and it's going to go until the very last page. And then in that case, it's going to print an error saying out of range or unsubscript or not subscriptable. So you could see we got to the very end. This is as much as Google's really going to pull. We're getting from 18 hours ago. And, we have a 24-hour time frame, and it's sorted by relevance. So it's not even going to be the most. So from here, you can see if we open up our data.csv file now, we have a whole bunch of data that we now can use to train. We could see that the columns aren't messed up because, all of the items here are links, all of the items here are times. So that's a simple way to get started with this and to collect data using Google News. Now, in the next episode, we're going to be taking all of this data and cleaning it up a little bit and then throwing it into a model where we can get a sentiment analysis of it. So it'll tell you if it's positive or negative, and we can go from there. So I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial. Definitely, if you're looking for something to watch, you can check out my Python Selenium series, which is also really good for collecting data on the internet. It's a lot slower process than using requests. However, I think it's really important because it allows you to do quality assurance and different testings with clicking buttons, and you're not using just hrefs and links. You're actually clicking on the buttons. So that's been it for today. I hope you learned a lot, and definitely stay tuned for next week where we're going to be continuing this episode. Thank you.